Hey, a very good evening to you, everybody, and Dinky-Doo. It's just me, Scottie McClue. Is that not absolutely incredible? And we are, of course, live tonight on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Amazing stuff. Welcome to all our beautiful Facebookers tonight as well. Lovely to have you with us. I know it's early days, but there we are. You're here. And that's just amazing. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Hi from Colorado, says Judy. Lovely to have you with us, Judy and Dinky-Doo. Guys, when you're coming on, tell us where you're watching from. That's very, very important indeed. And I've got Tups for hey. Good evening, all. Good evening, Tups. I hope you'll not leave it too long tonight. We'll be expecting a wee call, hopefully. Jay's just joined us, Dinky-Doo. Ferdy's from Carlisle. We love Carlisle. Warwick Road, Warwick Road. Dinky-Doo, I tell you. Now, hi, Leah, Dinky-Doo. Andrew, Dinky-Doo. Lovely to have you with us. And a very, very warm welcome, I say to you. So there we go. Who else have we got? We've got Chuck has joined us. Tremendous stuff. We like that. Good evening, everybody, and a very, very warm welcome to Scottie McClue Live. Wonderful stuff. You're not quite used to it yet, but you will get there, I promise you. Now then, what else have we got? We've got a shout-out is wanted here. Long-time watcher and rising star, Dinky-Doo. I telling you, there's a big SNP person on here. Will not be doing the politics. I tell you. Hey, says El. Hey, El, Dinky-Doo, and welcome, I tell you. Do you support Trump, says Ira? Well, I think everyone supports Trump. They might pretend that they don't, but they actually do. So there we are. So it's a kind of an empty question that, do you support Trump? I think really probably eventually you'll see all the Democrats will just maybe fade away and become Republicans. And that will be Trump in there for as long as he wants to be. I tell you, there we are. Now, who else have we got here? Big Paul's joined us. Guys, remember, no silliness. Last week, we had to give a couple of people a lifetime ban. A lifetime ban. Ewan's watching, Roddy's watching, and Susan's watching on the Facebook. Welcome, my dears. Lovely to have you with us. This is absolutely incredible. Something of an experiment, as you can see, but it will no doubt work out well, as these things do. I tell you, I've got lots and lots of plans here. I tell you, I'm pretty sure I saw you in a pub. Well, it wouldn't be me, mailman. I haven't been in a pub for about 20 years. There we are. Do you watch rugby? I have seen it in my time, but we're very, very busy. There's the wonderful Tony Mac. Hi, Scottie. Good to see you again. Stephanie as well. Absolutely amazing. So good to have you all with us, and welcome on the Facebook Live, the YouTube, and the TikTok. Happy Easter, everyone, says Drodgers. Good evening, Scottie. From Greenock, says the wonderful Sean. Sean, loved it and loved your call. Good evening from Yorkshire, says Paddy. Dinky-Doo, Paddy. We love you in Yorkshire. Very, very important. We love Yorkshire. It's as simple as that. Dinky-Doo, Lord Scottie of Scottie. I tell you. So there we are. Who else have we got? Morning from Australia. There we are. We love you in Oz. In Oz, down under. Fantastic. Lovely, lovely. I tell you, happy Easter, everybody. And, of course, tomorrow is the big day. Hi, Scottie. Dinky-Doo, best wishes. Stephen Bell in St. Helens. Happy Easter, the Night Owls in St. Helens in Lancashire. How good is that? Paul Kilpatrick. Good evening, Scottie. Good evening, Paul. Lovely to have you with us live on the Facebook Live. And Dinky-Doo, everybody. Hashtag stay fabulous, broski. You too. Oh, my God. Hi, he said it. Happy Easter from Dublin in Ireland. Mini Gale going on in EK. Now, EK, guys, is Scottish code for East Kilbride. Mini Gale going on in Glasgow. Hello from Gibraltar, from Jib. Absolutely. Are the apes still on the rock? Very, very important. Now, what else have we got here? A long-time watcher, Dinky-Doo says Special XID. Lovely to have you with us, and welcome, welcome, welcome. That's what it's all about. Hello, Scottie, from Caitlin and Andy in Aglionby. Now, Aglionby, if I remember correctly, IIRC, is a village not far from Carlisle. So there we are. So we send love to everybody in Aglionby. There we are, I tell you, Dinky-Doo. Easter's coming soon in Bulgaria. Well, I was looking today at the actual dates, Christ's death, all that sort of thing. Billy Hunter's watching. Lovely to have you with us, Billy. And Gary's watching as well, live on the Facebook Live. That's what we like. Say hello to my wife, Lorna. She loves listening to you. Jay, of course. Jay and Lorna. The wonderful Jay Hamilton there. Do you know Muir House in Edinburgh? I do. I know it very well. Yes, I do. So there we have it. Dinky-Doo from a windy Calder Crooks, Scottie. Guys, this is great. Telling me where you're watching from. It's actually very, very important. I'm going to see if I can get you a slightly better place for the... No, perhaps not. Things are getting a bit crowded in the desk here. We'll have to get higher premises. Gary Crossan, not seen you for ages. Scottie, Dinky-Doo, Gary. And a very, very warm welcome. Scottie, have you got any Easter eggs under your bunnet? Not under my bunnet, because they would melt and the chocolate would run down my face. But I did buy an Easter egg yesterday. I won't say which type. Bit of a rip-off, to be honest. Watching from Ayrshire, my bro. Your jest. How lovely to have you watching from Ayrshire. Very, very important. Good evening, Mr. McClue from stunning Derbyshire. Much respect to you, Mr. McClue. May God go with you and everyone. God bless. Roy Michael in Derbyshire. How lovely is Derbyshire? There we are. I just immersed myself in these places. Down to Bakewell. Yes, over Haddon. Wonderful. St. Anne's over Haddon. It'll be beautiful. Today always is. Pheasants running about the kirkyard. Hello from Palm Beach. We love you in Palm Beach. A lot of people were jetting off for the holidays. Dinky-Doo, Scottie at Sinky. Free Barheed, Sinky. We love you in Barheed. I tell you. Were you on Still Game? No, but apparently I was the original inspiration for it, according to the people themselves. And we like that. I bought a Velcro Easter egg, Scottie. Now, that was a rip-off. I see what you just did there. Fantastic. We love that. There we are. Kenneth McKellar. Oh, we love Kenneth McKellar. Angela Wellness is on. Good evening, Scottie. Nice to see you as always. You too, Angela Wellness. I send you strength and love and get well. Keep fighting to get well. Strive to get well. Dinky-Doo. Hey, from Northumberland. We love you in Northumberland. I'll tell you that. Dodsey has joined us. Dodsey from the Isle of Man and is spoiling me with red roses. We never ask for anything on the TikTok, guys, but if anybody's feeling flush, up the top there's a wee goal. And people are putting red roses in it. I tell you, you're so famous in Africa. Isn't that wonderful? We love Africa. What about Kenya? I could say Jambo to you in Kenya. Alan McGee's watching. Dinky-Doo. Alan, I tell you. What else have we got here? What's the phone number, Scottie? Phone number, Alan, is 0141 628 9795. All right, 0141 628 9795. And we can open the lines for you now. There you go. Lines are already open for you. So do feel free to give us a call and get a bit of chat going, I tell you. Any facts about Loch Doon Castle? I think Robert the Bruce was in Loch Doon Castle. I can tell you that. So there we have it. Hello from the land, the north of France, she. So there we are, she in the north of France. Leila says, what's the number? 0141 628 9795 to speak to McClure. Live on here. We just need a first name, no second names, and no silliness. Michael, thank you very much, Michael de Roy. What do you think of Robert the Bruce? I think he was an excellent chap. We voted him in king. We elected our king. Scottish men wear skirts. Well, they're actually called kilts, of course, as you well know, but I will introduce you to one of the regimental sergeant majors of one of the old Scottish regiments, and you can tell him how much you like his skirt. See how that goes. I tell you. Are you off to church for Easter Sunday tomorrow? Well, Tony, we tend to do church on here. We get lots of lives from all over the country and we send them round. So we've got non-denominational, we've got Catholic, we've got Episcopalian, you name it, McClue can send it round. Dodsey, what are you doing? You'll bankrupt yourself. Dobbsy is giving me more and more and more and more gifts. He sent me 50 hidden eggs. Leila is sending red roses. Dodsy sent me tofu. There we are. I have really not been well. Angela, I am sure you have a condition, but we want to make you well, or as well as you can be. You're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
How you doing, Scott? It's Alan from Glasgow. How are you doing?
Alan from Glasgow. How lovely to hear you. I am doing amazingly well.
That's good. Okay, just I want to really speak to you, Scott, on a more kind of serious note.
Yes.
Because I've been listening to you for years, back to bloody Scott FM days, etc.
Wow.
But it's a lot happened now. That's, I don't know. Do you know much about kind of like dealing with grief or anything like that? Because I lost my mum 7 years ago, and I've never ever came to terms with it. But I think now it's actually starting to hit me, and I really don't know which way to turn. You know, sometimes I'm at a struggle. You know, and I always listen to a Saturday night, and you know, you bring a smile on my face. But now I'm getting to a stage now I'm getting upset quite often for no reason, and I don't know, is this normal? I don't know. I just can't to speak to you, Scotty, because I know you talk about different. You always talk about different topics and conversations, and it's, you know, it's always just to speak to somebody, you know.
Alan, there is no normal with grief. When you say, is that normal? Because relationships with parents in particular are very often complex. And there will be a part of you that just wishes, prays, hopes that you could see your mum again. You wouldn't have liked to see her, even have a cup of tea with her, take her out in the car, whatever. And that will wash over you. And it can be, well, let's have it straight. It can be distressing. It brings tears to your eyes. What am I going to do with this? Now, I'm going to give you a huge move here to help you understand what you're dealing with and coping with, okay? And what that is don't grudge your mother her passing. Yes, because she's out of it now. What age was she?
67.
Right. So it's quite young, actually.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she was taken from us very, very quickly. She was diagnosed and dead within 2 weeks. It was her liver cancer she had.
Right.
And it was
Now,
very, 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 very quick.
Now, give thanks for the speed, because liver cancer is thoroughly nasty disease. Yeah?
Yeah.
So give thanks for the speed that Mum went at, because she had that. But having said that, you are the one that's left, and you will be experiencing a whole gambit, a whole spectrum of feelings: anger, upset, missing, a part of you's gone. Could you have done more? There will be elements of guilt, completely unnecessary guilt, no doubt, but there will be all these sort of things. So I would say, don't try and deal with everything at one time. Don't try and do that, Alan. Take each of these feelings one at a time. Think of all the good times. This might be very moving, might bring tears to your eyes.
It's when you say guilt, you know, I'm riddled with guilt.
Yes.
Because it's just.
Now, riddled with guilt because you wonder if you could have done more, if you'd had more money, if you'd had more time, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, basically, I just feel guilty because she was still working, you know, she was just too young to go.
Yes. Yes.
Every day I do miss her.
Now, Alan, here's JCMC has just popped up in the TikTok and said, Alan, your mother wouldn't want you being down because of her passing. She would want you to enjoy your life, right? Now, I will almost guarantee that's the case. What would your mum say to you if you were talking to her about this and you said, I need to discuss my grief with you, Mum?
I don't know. She should probably just tell me, you know, enjoy your life. You know, life's very short. Your life could change at the drop of a hat.
Yes.
You know, you could go to bed tonight and not get up tomorrow.
Yes.
You know,
or you could go to bed, something happens, you have an incident and you wake up stroked, or having had a heart attack or anything at all. You can be in a car crash and disappear in seconds. Nowadays, young people, there are young people going around and there's knife crime. And what happens is two young people, their lives are completely destroyed. One goes to the cemetery and the other goes to jail. So there's all of that, but you don't need to have the world on your shoulders. You actually loved your mother. I can tell. That's why you feel the way you do. She loved you. That's why you feel the way you do. Now, it doesn't go away.
It was fun because when I was 37 years of age, I had a cardiac arrest.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't my mum, you know, I wouldn't be here. So it was like, you know, I was in hospital for a minor surgery, and I took a bad turn in hospital. And if my mum wasn't sitting there, the last thing I remember, I'll never forget it. It was the 20th of March 2014, and my mum was sitting there. And the last thing I remember saying there was, "What's my sandwich?" That's the last thing I remember. And then the next thing I remember, you know, it was like something with the A-team. All these doctors, nurses everywhere, you know, and I wake up, you know, I was given CPR, I woke up, and a 24-hour stay in hospital led to a week in the high defensive unit. So again, if it wasn't my mum, I wouldn't be here.
Absolutely, and there's a story in itself. So you and I together have come to the conclusion that life is very short, that life can be very harsh and very cruel, but also look at the beautiful times you had with her. Now, that's very moving, but go through them and start to focus on them and realize, A, how very fortunate you are to have had her as your mother, but also how very fortunate she was to have had you as a son.
Yeah, apart from the time when I was younger and I was irritating and annoying.
Well, listen, we were all irritating and annoying. I'm irritating and annoying now.
Oh, you know, just some days, after all this time, I say to myself, God, is this happening?
No.
It was her birthday last week, sorry, 2 weeks ago. She would have been 74, you know, and that day, about the 25th of March, her birthday was, and that day, I locked myself away, because it just, for the whole few days leading up to it, my mind was just doing overtime, you know, just thinking about her constantly. And then on that day, and then I think just the last couple of weeks, things have been really, really tough, you know, and it's one of those ones where you say to yourself, right, come on, Alan, you know, give yourself a shake. You know, your mum wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, but you've been giving yourself a shake for a long, long time over this, and it won't actually change. My mother lost her brother at 21. He went down with a ship in 1943. He was 21, right? She never got over that for the rest of her life. Then she lost her sister in a road accident. She got knocked down and killed. She never got over that for the rest of her life. And it affects the whole family. It's interesting because the grief won't just be affecting you, it'll be affecting everybody you come into contact with because of the way you are. But you've also got to, you've heard the little song, Count Your Blessings. Now, in actual fact, you've been very blessed, and it's the fact that she's moved on. She hasn't gone. Death is nothing at all, as a poem says. I am only in the next room. You know, so although she physically has moved on because her body wore out at quite a young age, she's with you all the time. Her spirit is just as active, just as strong. She loves you just as much. And that's not changing. And if you can meet her spirit and think, hi, Mum, you know, I do love you. I know, you know, and it's just starting to heal, Alan.
I know, but as it's saying that, I mean, about a year, 18 months ago, I did go to one of these kind of psychic reading people, and I was always a bit sceptic about them because, I mean, I've been to a few shows in the past, and it's always, we've got an Uncle John or an Uncle Jimmy coming through, you know, but everybody's an Uncle John or an Uncle Jimmy, or we've got Margaret coming through, or we've got Betty coming through, you know, they would have to tell me something specifically that I knew. You know, and this reading was basically, it was spot on. They told me everything about my health and my mum came through and told me basically what you said tonight, as you know, she's in a better place and she looks over me every single day and wishes me obviously to have a good, happy life, etc. You know, but it is hard. I've just found it really just in the last kind of month or so to be struggling. You know, and I'm saying to myself, is this a grieving period starting? You know, 7 years later, because as people say, there's no time scale on grief.
There isn't.
It could happen instantly.
There isn't, and it can just wash over you. I lost a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful friend of 40 years 2 years ago. Our birthday is tomorrow, and there's hardly a second, a minute goes by, and certainly never a day goes by, but she's with me. But I thank God for the fact that I knew her. And when you know, and when I say I thank God, I thank this spiritual power superior to mankind.
Yeah, I know. It's but I know she's always looking over me, you know. It's just,
yes, she is.
Sometimes, and some days are better than others, you know. Some days,
of course,
or even things like, I mean, I sometimes listen to a certain radio station, and I don't know if you know the song Bette Midler, Wind Beneath My Wings.
Yes.
If you know that song?
Yes.
That was a funeral song, you know, and there's a couple of times I've been listening to said radio station, and that comes on, and I'm like, turn it off, I can't listen to that. You raise
me up. You raise me up. You know, so I can stand on mountains and standing on the shoulders of giants. It's all there. It's all spiritual. The world is spiritual. You haven't done it, but don't poo-poo the spiritualism and the wireless. I was asked one time to have a top spiritualist on. You may even have heard him. And my job was supposed to be to try and poo-poo this or in some way rubbish this. No way could I do that, because the guy was absolutely incredible and his stuff was absolutely incredible. And he might have had, say, a lady on and he would say, did your dad, there was another brother? No, just the two brothers. No, there was another brother. There was a Henry as well as your father and James. Oh, no, 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 there was just the two of them. No, I think you'll find, love, there was another. Henry's the name that's coming through. Henry. And then she suddenly went, oh, God, my Uncle Harry. My Uncle Harry. Yeah, there was three of them. But my Uncle Harry died quite young. You see? So this, and then the very final call. And the listenership, the callers and the listenership was through the roof. The very final call said, I can see a man, love. He's beautifully dressed. He's surrounded by red roses. And he's telling me to tell you that he's very happy where he is. And he said, does that have any bearing at all on you? She said, yeah. Me and my sisters put red roses in my father's coffin.
All these spiritual readings out there, there is probably a lot of people that maybe take advantage of vulnerable people, but there is good people out there. The ones that I've seen, the couple that I've seen, have been very, very specific.
Oh, yeah.
One was about my gran, and they described my gran down to a T. They even got her name correct. They said they'll get Anne, they'll get Annie coming through. That was my gran. They described it at a T. They described what she done and etc. But there obviously is a lot of people out there that maybe try and take advantage of the.
There might well be, but I haven't experienced it in my radio career. I've had two on, and they really were the actual genuine article. They were delivering, if that makes sense.
I know, it's just one of the ones. It probably takes about 10 bad ones to find a good one.
Yeah, but even that point of view, you're not necessarily needing that. What you're needing to do is appreciate just how fortunate you were to have your mum and how fortunate your mum was to have you, and just meet in the middle. Never give up talking to her. Oh, hi, mum. You might go out and see a little white feather floats down from a bird that's nesting. That could be your mum. You might see a little robin hop by and follow you for a few trees along the road. That could be your mum. Just a sample of her spirit there, just being with you.
Every time I drive by where she used to live, every minute in a street, and always look up at the window where she used to live, and it's just habit. I've been doing it for years. It's forced it. Even when she was alive, you should drive by and see if her light was on, or see if the telly was on, and
of course,
I see myself doing it.
Of course. And just think how much you loved her and how much she loved you, and just start to appreciate that was fortunate. That was fortunate, and as I say, don't deny her passing, Alan. Think, no, she had to go, and by God, am I glad she never suffered. Or she didn't suffer as much as could, because living with liver cancer.
Yeah, it was horrible at the end, but at the end,
yeah.
I was there. I was there every day. When she got diagnosed, I was there the whole 2 weeks, even to our last breath, Scottie, I was there. And when she did pass, it was just you could just see the whole pain disappear from her.
Yes.
And it was just hard. you know. But listen, Scotty, I appreciate you listening to me and talking to me tonight. You know, I normally come on and ask you about your Tweed Barrett and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
I said, you know, I need to phone Scott. Where is the Tweed Barrett tonight, by the way?
The Tweed Barrett is we're contemplating sending it to the cleaners, because it's actually been around for 30 years.
I know. It's crazy to think, Scott. I used to listen to you, you know, in the 90s. When did you start off in Scott FM?
1994. 94. December 94.
I've been listening to you for day dot, you know, when you used to be on, you know, 10 to 1. You know, I used to be up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm still listening to you 1 o'clock. It was the good old days, Scott. You know, that's another problem I've got, is I dwell in the past a lot. I think back to the past. You know, I struggle moving forward with the future.
No,
you know,
that's that. There's nothing wrong with that. What you're doing is appreciating your life.
You know, I've had a good life. You know, I've travelled the world. I've been, you know, different sides of the world. You know, Australia, America. You know, Europe. I've had a good life. You know, I just wish my health was a lot better than it is. But you know, I've got a meal on my stomach every day, and I've got 2 beautiful kids. So they two keep me going.
Hey,
you know,
listen, fantastic. And your mother is so proud of you. She gave birth to you, and she's so proud of you. And all the years that you were with her, just start to celebrate her life. You don't any longer, after tonight, need to mourn her death. You don't need to mourn her passing. You need to celebrate her life and how she interacted with you.
It was always when I was growing up. I was brought up in a tenement flat in Springburn, you know, and always I wasn't a flash family, you know. My mum and dad both worked hard, you know, but always had clean clothes in my bag and clean pair of shoes and 3 meals in my stomach. So, you know, I was always grateful for that I did have a good upbringing. There's a lot of people that I did go to school with, unfortunately, you know, chose the wrong path in life, so they're either not here or, you know, they've done stuff they shouldn't have done. And I still see them, you know. I don't know how well you know Springburn, you know, but
very well.
Very occasionally I get out in the Springburn shopping centre. I go to the post office, and you know, sometimes you see people hanging about and you say, God, did I go to school with him? Did I go to school with her? You know, and it's just unfortunately they've chose the wrong path in life. And I'm always grateful to my parents, you know, for, you know, we didn't have fancy holidays. We went to Blackpool, which I still love Blackpool. You know,
wonderful.
I was always, I was loved as a child, and always clean clothes and, you know, food in my stomach. So I'll always be grateful to my parents, you know, but it's just always good to talk to you, Scotty.
Now,
you know,
Alan, do you remember Tom Weir, or are you too young to remember Tom Weir of Weir's Way?
Weir's Way, that's always kind of walking up the Highlands.
Walking up the Highlands, and there's a statue to him, Loch Lomond. They loved him, and he did a series on STV, Weir's Way, and his sister was Molly Weir, who wrote a book called Shoes for Sunday. And she was a great wee actress, Molly Weir, and very funny comedy actress, all the rest of it, right? Tremendous. Now, the Weirs, 2 lovely, rounded, famous people, were brought up in a tenement in Springburn. You see? So it's great for character building. So whenever people tell me where they were brought up, whether it's the Postle, the Garngad, the Maryhill, whatever, they've got every chance. They just need to do what you've done and make the right choices.
Is Tom just still with us?
No, he's gone quite a long time ago. I think Tom Weir might have been born about 1914 or something like that.
Right, Jesus.
You know, so
funny you say that. You're talking about like the Highlands and that. I remember years ago.
Yeah.
I used to record, as you say, I've also got family in Australia, and I used to record. It was like a kind of series. It was called Scotland Story. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
On ITV.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do.
Because I worked for STV at the time.
And on STV, God, I remember the TV, Scott, used to go off at midnight. It was it Late Call? It was called
Late Call. We used to close down. There was one of the lovely announcers, and we had a sheet that had the running order. Everything in ITV runs to the exact second, and we had a sheet, and he said, "Now it's time for your appointment with Fear," because it was the late night movie, which was a scary one, right? And he forgot that Late Call was coming up first. So he says, "Now it's time for your appointment with Fear." And this music went da la 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 la. And on came a wee minister or a priest that said, "Hello there. What kind of day have you had?"
Late Call. I was going to say Last Call, but that was bloody Ricky Fulton, wasn't it?
That was, yes, Last Call was Ricky Fulton. And he wasn't the Reverend I.M. Jolly in the very first ones. He was something else.
Was it the Reverend David Goodchild?
Yes, the Reverend David Goodchild was the first one. And David Heyman was playing the floor manager.
Reverend David, is that the one where he puts the bottle of gin in the water
bottle? Yeah, oh, that was very good, wasn't it?
I always remember even things like Hug and get back to the Hug my name, that Scottie.
Yes.
Things under the same.
No.
It used to be, there was always, Ricky Fulton on, and the Bells and the Steak Pine, and even on New Year's Day there used to be good TV. There used to be a new episode of Taggart on, But it's, did you ever work with the people for Taggart? Like
yes. Yes, I used to see Mark McManus almost every morning when they were filming. I would see him with the stairs and go, "Hello," say hello, Mark.
I remember Rapsy Nisbet. Did you ever work with him?
I remember seeing Gregor. I didn't work with Gregor and would love to have done so, and might well still do so, because he's doing shows at the Pavilion at the moment. I think it's a one-man show at the Pavilion. Lovely, lovely guy. Very, very talented actor.
Why don't you do something like that, Scottie, like a Pavilion show? Because I remember years ago you done an audience with Scottie McClue.
I know, it was huge.
And it was on VHS tape. Why don't you do something like that?
I should maybe go back to it, right enough, because, and people say they want a book as well. See, we had everything running really, really well at Scott FM, but it was causing problems for other radio stations. So we don't know what happened,
No, you would have to do the show, Scott. You would need to take your Tweed Bonnet.
Oh, I get the Tweed Bonnet on. Absolutely. Yes, and the half specs. I think we'll still get the half. Wait a wee second. This is just as a tribute to you, Alan. Are you ready?
Are you getting a Tweed Bonnet?
There's the half specs on as well.
Oh, God. You not get the fingerless gloves?
The fingerless gloves, I think we have got them as a credit to you. I can't see them here, but we had them until very recently. Somebody's been tidying.
Definitely, Scottie, a show in even the Armadillo, he would sell out. He would probably sell out 10 times over.
Good Lord. Absolutely amazing. Lovely, lovely talking to you. Strength to you. Love to you.
Listening to me, and obviously I listen to your show I maybe not pop on the chat every week, but I do listen to you every Saturday night. But listen,
bless you.
Thank you very much for listening to me. And brought a smile on my face.
And love to you, and love to your mum, a beautiful spirit.
Lovely. Thanks, Scottie. Thank you.
See you, buddy. Dinky-Doo.
Bye-bye. Bye, Scottie.
Bye-bye. What a fine fellow. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Hello, you're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Scottie.
Yes. Hello, sir.
Can you hear me okay, Scottie?
I can, yes. Lovely to hear you. Who's that? First name?
It's Tom from Belfast. Remember
Tom! How lovely to hear you. I was getting worried. I was hoping you were okay because you'd said you were going to America.
Yeah, I went. That must be right. Where are you going now, Scottie?
Here's a guy here. This is wonderful, Tom. Just 2 seconds. You spoke to me in 1999 when I was 16. You cut me off on Hallam FM. I've never forgiven you. And 3 kisses.
Here, Scottie, the first time, was there somebody phoned you there that couldn't get through?
Yes, there was several people that couldn't get through. It's been pretty mobbed.
Yeah, because I was listening to the stream at the same time, and that's why it took me a while to flip and answer you.
Oh, don't worry. How are you?
No, I'm not too bad. I'm still working away, Scotty.
Excellent stuff. So lovely to hear you. And what about, is Sean to the fore?
Sean is sitting right next to me here, Scotty.
Ah, that's excellent.
What do you say? Hold on. I'll let it get him to say hello to you here. So, Scotty, remember Scotty, that boy we used to phone a couple years ago? He's on the line here.
Hello.
Hello, Scotty.
Oh, Sean, how are you keeping?
Okay, Scotty.
You're a great man.
Yeah, how are you doing yourself?
Oh, we're just grand over here. We're missing all you beautiful people over in the north there, you know.
Yeah. Nice speaking to you, Scotty.
Lovely to hear you, Sean. Take great care of yourself.
Yeah, I do my best.
Dinky-Doo, sir.
Scotty.
There we are. That's our Sean.
Young Sean there, Scotty.
Young Sean, what a great guy. Sounding amazing.
Just had his 83rd birthday.
83. Wonderful. Lovely. And he's very proud of his grandson.
Yeah, he had a wee scare there for a while, but he's back home now and doing the best.
Oh, good for him, I tell you. So, yes. And what about yourself, Tommy? You were just working away.
Yeah, I'm still doing the sparking, Scotty.
Lovely. A great thing.
Enjoying it.
I had a chap come in to fix some ceiling lights, and he said, so you want these replaced? I said, well, yeah, they're kind of headache, you know, and all. And he said, unless you want LEDs. And I said, so what's involved in that? And he told me. I thought, I'm up for that. The place is lit up as bright as day.
All of them LEDs are some jobs, Scotty. That's the type of thing I'd be doing too. You know, I've started my own wee business there recently, so I'm going out and doing bits and pieces there.
Well, I think, do they bypass the little transformers?
Yeah, so say you have a 60-watt light in your living room, you know, just an ordinary hanging bulb.
Yes.
You might get an LED at only 6 watts, and it's every bit as bright as what the 60 watts would be. So they're far more efficient, you know.
Wow. Absolutely incredible. Well, as I say, tremendous. I think the lighthouses should look at them. Maybe they have.
I don't know. But one thing I've noticed is some of the cars haven't went that way yet. The cars still, some of them stick to the old halogen.
Well, yes, but apparently there was a worry that the LEDs, I mean, I used to run the four-wheel drives. I didn't realize. And then I got a car that you're sitting on the road almost, you know. And I thought to myself, why are people not dimming their lights? And it was just, the other car had me up higher. So I wasn't getting the same reaction. And somebody said, no, you'll probably find they're dipped, but there may be LEDs or something like that.
I got a new car there last September. Great car it is. Can't say a bad word about it.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I got a Ford Focus. Great vehicle.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, yes. Go forever, these. Tremendous stuff. Tom, an absolute joy hearing you again.
Yes, good hearing from you, Scotty.
And stay fabulous.
All right, Scotty, will do. Cheers.
And we'll catch up soon. See you later. Dinky-Doo. Right. There we are. That's our Tom. What a great guy over in Belfast. Wonderful. Now, so good to see and hear you again. I've worked with Mr. Fisher many times. A darling man, says Stephen. Interesting, Stephen. Well, if you're talking to him, giving my regards. Hello, Scotty. If Scotland lose any games at the World Cup, the Tartan Army should sing the Scottish national anthem. Pop goes the weasel. Well, the Scottish national anthem, as you well know, is God Save the King. Now, quite a lot of reaction here. Hello, Scotty. Dinky-Doo. Bakewell, what a stunning place in Derbyshire. So is Chesterfield with a twisted spire church. Yes, the Green Heart Oak. Grief is awful. I lost my mother, brother, and wife in the space of just 18 months. That was 15 years ago, says Brunbreed. And I still feel the grief, but you learn to get on with it. Absolutely, Neil. Good man. So there we go. What else have we got here? Sorry I'm late, says Susan. Not at all, Susan. You're here now. God bless you, Scottie, for helping that man with losing his mum. I lost my dad recently. I thank God he didn't suffer, says Anthony. I know he's up in heaven now with my mum. You're a good man, Scottie. Thank you, Anthony. Who else have we got here? How do I call into chat, says Stephen. Stephen, you just ring up 0141 628 9795 and away you go. Scottie, did you ever play the Mega Mix anymore? I'm pretty sure I've still got it on tape. Andy, my problem is that copyright people pop up. It's a bit of a nuisance, but copyright people have to be paid, and I'm all up for that. But it means that you're very, very limited on what music you can use on social media. So there we go. Now, lots and lots of stuff. Bro, I'm from Tennessee. We have similar ancestors. Yes, Nathaniel. God bless you, Mr. McClue. Dinky-Doo to you. Good evening. Long-time watcher, says Barry. Mrs. Basement says, good evening, I tell you. Used to listen to you years ago, my dad and brother, 10 p.m. in the radio. Amazing memories, says Barry. We love that. I want a book and a show, says Alia. So there we are. You both sound like lovely, educated men. Alia, you're very, very kind, I tell you. Been a long time. How have you been? Legend. Thank you very much for that. Oh, my goodness. Hello, you're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Somebody just trying the phone and then panicked when they got through. Scottie, I forgot to say, have you got a new phone system? There was music playing before you answered. We have, Tom. Yes, we've got a new, brand new, all singing, all dancing phone system. And I've put a lot into it, but it's wonderful. I forgot Scottie goes all around the world. What's the chat? How do I join? There we go. Well, the chat's actually on the YouTube channel. You're live at Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Oh, hello, Scottie. Me, myself, and I.
Oh! And you've decided to grace us with your presence.
Well, here, listen.
I thought we weren't good enough for you.
I'm only phoning if I've got a complaint or two, Scottie.
Good. Well, you complain away, and then, in fact, if you'd written it down, I could have torn it up.
Well, I should have written to you with my complaint then you could have torn it up.
Yes, and I could have torn it up on air live.
Absolutely. Right, my first complaint, Scottie.
Yes.
What's going on with the phones?
How do you mean?
I've got a record. I thought you didn't play music.
No, listen, the phones are all singing, all dancing. We've invested a fortune in the phones.
Scottie, it's like phoning the doctors. You're 15 in the queue and there's nobody.
Aye, it's all that. Oh, it's all singing, all dancing. None of your rubbish from McClue's on, I'm telling you.
So I hung up.
Well, that's your loss, because then you'd lose your place in the queue. You're needing to learn patience.
Scottie, you can't have a go through it because I phoned the hotline.
Ah.
The old number.
The old number, the old routine.
You bypass the music.
Did you phone the 0333?
Aye.
Ah, you're a fly boy.
Nothing gets past numpty.
Nothing gets past numpty head. You're a professor.
Anyway.
But I'm very glad to hear you, because I really thought you'd given us the body serve, because you thought, I'm too important to speak to him.
Well, I am. Anyway, I thought I'd phone up, Scottie, because you know me, I phone up with so little to say and so much time to say it in. Oh,
but listen, we end up finding that you've got so much to say and there's so little time to say it in.
No, I was right the first time.
Well, I can't believe it, but we've only got 9 minutes left. It's as if we've been up for 2 seconds.
Right. Complaint number 2.
Right. Oh, you didn't give us complaint number 1. Oh, was that the phone?
The phone. then.
All right. Ah, we weren't bothered about that. Right. Okay.
Right, I see your complaints. You didn't bother about
No,
it.
no, no, no. I've written down here, complaint noted.
Right. So you're going to let the big bosses can?
Oh, they'll hear. They'll get to hear. They'll be watching.
Right.
Well, no, they'll not
Ready
because
for
it's
complaint
Easter.
number two,
They'll be in
Scotty.
Tenerife.
Silly rabbit, no nonsense.
They'll be in Tenerife, the big bosses.
Indeed, playing golf.
Play
Are you
golf.
listening? Are you listening, Scotty?
Of course we're listening.
Right, well, shush, and let me complain.
Right, come on. Complaint number
Right,
two.
Complaint number two. You see, it's the national anthem, God Save the King.
Correct. What do you mean?
Well, because you got it wrong. You got a ding. If it's right, you got
No, that is the national anthem.
Well, Scotty, I watched the football last week, right?
Right.
And it was the first Scotland game was last Friday. Mind had the double whammy over the few days. They
Correct.
played Japan and then they played the Ivory Coast.
Correct.
Well, when they played Japan, Scotty, right? And the commentator says, "Now it's time for the Scottish national anthem."
Yes.
And then they played "Oh Flower of Scotland."
Yes,
And I
because
thought,
they
Scotty,
don't
I like that.
understand that Flower of Scotland started at Murrayfield about 30 years ago as a joke, right? And we, up until then, we always sang the proper national anthem for 275 years.
Aye, well, Scotland's not been playing football for 200.
No, I know, but I mean, no, but it's been playing football now up to for 154 years, the Rangers. And I think, who's the oldest? Is it Queen's Park? About 1863. So they're.
It might well be Scottish.
So you're talking a long, long time ago.
Indeed, we are. Right, listen. Right, that's the complaints out the way. But
Right.
listen, there's one thing. Now, you know the Waverley paddle steamers,
I
you know how
know
it's
her very well.
been around for a while.
1947.
Aye. Well, do you think she's still got plenty
Oomph.
wear and tear can settle?
Oh.
Do you think the Waverley paddle steamer can still go?
Oh, absolutely. They've just spent a fortune on her. I think they were reboiling her and doing her masts. And
So you could start it up and go them on.
oh, aye, no bother at all. They listen. My old friend, his boys built these engines.
Right, well, listen to this, Scotty.
They're all handmade. They're all handmade in Greenock.
Aye, but listen.
Rankin and Blackmore. You check it out. Rankin and Blackmore engineers.
Aye, never mind that. I will tell you a great idea.
What do you mean? Never mind that.
Well, I'm trying to tell you an idea about the Waverley paddle.
Come on then.
You're not letting that.
Come on
You're
then.
going on about Rankin and his pal.
Well, Rankin and Blackmore.
Aye, them. Now, the Waverley paddle steamer, instead of lying there doing nothing, it could have been put to good use while HMS Dragon was in dry dock doing nothing.
It's never doing nothing, the Waverley. They take her out of commission for the winter just to get her refurbed, and everything's polished and shining and beautiful. In fact, they're looking for crew. Now, that would do you.
Scotty, they had new ships and HMS Dragon
I know.
in dry dock.
I know, but listen.
Dry dock for a fortnight.
Listen, years and years and years, there are incidences like that. Have you ever heard of Tom Sopwith, the Sopwith camel, the Sopwith pup? Right. Tommy Sopwith he was one of the first aviators in this country. His license in 1912, and he ended up as the chairman of Hawkers, the Hawker Hurricane, when the jump jet came in.
All right.
Right? He was still, the jump jet come in, Tommy was still the chairman. And he saved this country several times. He went to Germany and came back and saw what they were doing, building aircraft in Germany in 1936. He came back to his own factory and ordered Hurricanes, fighters.
Very good.
And they no, but wait till you hear this, Numpty, right? No, because this is important. He came back and ordered them. They said, Tommy, who are the fighters for? He went, me, right? A very, very wealthy man. So he organized these. Then, when the Air Ministry came to him panicking at the start of the Second World War and said, we've got no fighters, we've got no fighters, Tommy was able to say, well, I happen to have some I could give you or sell you.
Right.
Well organized. And we've always been in that state. The last proper arms race was the Dreadnoughts in 1906.
Right. You finished?
Aye. Now,
good.
Now you know.
Right, I'm getting a tax here from my dog, Scottie. He says birthday in 2 days.
He's just loving you. He's telling you to get out and buy him a present. A wee packet of cheese.
Sorry, I'm still getting a dog, Scottie. Anyway, listen, that's your show nearly finished, so I'll have to go.
I'll have to go. So you stick your tongue out and say ta-ta.
Away you go. Stop talking nonsense.
Ta-ta. Right, that's your numpty head. You're live on Scotty's Fun-In. Who's that?
You're live on Scotty's Fun-In. Who's that? Well, Steve, who texted you for your number.
Oh, Steve, how lovely to hear you. Steve, sadly, we're out of time.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to say hello and how lovely it is to see you and to see you looking so well and to see that you're back because I haven't heard you on the radio for such a long time and you popped up on my YouTube feed.
You're such a lovely man. Dinky-Doo.
But Dinky-Doo. And as I say, I worked with Mr. Fisher many times on Rab C. I played the young Rab C several episodes.
Steve, if you're talking to him, please give him my fondest regards.
I will do. I'm in touch with Mr. Roper as well. He's a good friend.
Please give him my fondest regards. Another lovely, lovely man.
Nope, broke not by an ad.
Oh, Dinky-Doo.
Well, Scotty, listen, take care and all the best.
And lovely to hear you, Dinky-Doo. That was marvelous. So what an amazing show tonight, guys. My goodness me. Thank you so much to every single one of you, to everybody on the TikTok, to everybody on the YouTube, and of course to you beautiful people who we hardly got rounds to tonight on the Facebook Live page. Dinky-Doo, I say to you, we're going to have to finish up. Oh, no. Love you guys. Stick your tongue out and say ta-ta. And here we are on the, what do we got here? On the YouTube as well. And you know, guys, I'll tell you, this is amazing. I can't actually see. Oh, fantastic. I can't actually see what's happening on here. This is wonderful. Stay with me. Because what I'm going to have to do is find out what's going on here. This is absolutely amazing. I'll have to say good night now. Good night. Ta-ra, lads. Bye-bye.